I don't. You know what? I don't really. I can't. I don't really want to talk about this.
What's that?
I don't really want to talk about this.
Okay, we'll talk about something else. Don't worry. We're not gonna talk about that anymore. The good stuff, okay?
All right. You know what? They just drained my system. I'm not gonna do this with this government right now.
What's that?
I can't do an interview right now because the goddamn government won't leave me the fuck alone.
The government's not
You goddamn bitch!
No, stop. There's no government.
Yes, there is.
There's no government affecting you.
It's the chips. They're doing shit to my body. They're taking my pituitary. They're taking my amygdala. They're draining my system. They're doing shit to me while I'm trying to do an interview.
All right, we're here at Aniko. How you doing?
I'm okay.
She is from Spokane, Washington. She's currently homeless, struggling with heroin and crystal meth, and she's gonna tell us her life story. All right, first of all, why did you move to Vegas?
To kind of change careers, I guess. I had been topless dancing and topless dancing and cocktailing pretty much in clubs. I wanted to go into more of like a casino atmosphere, or more of like instead of me going around asking people for dances, they maybe cocktailing or doing real estate where the buyers kind of come to you.
Yeah, so you said you were stripping in Spokane?
Topless dancing, no, not in Spokane.
Topless dancing.
In Reno. I actually lived in Reno.
Oh, you did?
For 5 years, yeah.
Can you describe Spokane for us when you were growing up? What kind of city was it?
Spokane, it was a good city to grow up in. It was fun. I didn't think that I would leave Spokane. I thought that I'd spend my whole life there. I had a lot of fun growing up in Spokane. Good people, nice people, very like homey family type of city. I think it was like 5 high schools. Reno was kind of similar to Spokane. It was a nice town to grow up in.
Did you grow up with both parents?
No, my mom and dad were separated. My dad and my stepmom lived out on the farm when I was little, till I was about 5, and then they moved to the country, which is still about 20 minutes outside of Spokane. And then I lived with my mom, and I had my older sister who was 8 years older, and my younger brother who's 8 years younger.
Okay.
So so at one point I had a sister at my mom's house who was a teenager who was in high school, and then a baby brother. So I did the whole baby brother, older sister thing. And then my other sister on my dad's side is 6 years older. So I did the whole older sisters thing there. And when I was little, we used to go camping. So it was me and my dad and my older sister on my dad's side, Erica and Ellen and my stepmom. We used to go camping and stuff.
Yeah.
And then after, I don't know, maybe after kindergarten, I started going out once every weekend, and I'd bring a friend or whatever, and Ellen would pick us up usually, and we'd spend the weekend out there and rent scary movies and do like the whole, get candy or go to the lake and do the whole boating thing, and or go to the water slide park or just do whatever. It was fun. I like going to my dad's.
Were those your fondest childhood memories?
Childhood memories? Yeah. Playing, I played a lot. I played neighborhood games. I played with the neighborhood kids a lot. We were always outside. We always had our bikes, going to Zip Trip and doing little candy runs, and playing touch football, or we played kickball, or we played hide and go seek or tag, or we always had neighborhood games going.
Yeah, like wholesome activities, huh?
Yeah, or we'd go over to each other's houses. And I think Nintendo had just come out, Super Mario Brothers 2, so that was really popular.
Did you play Atari?
I did. I played a little bit of Atari, Pac-Man, and Donkey Kong and stuff like that.
Okay, now, you're on my age, so I need to ask you this, because I ask all my Washington guests this. Do you remember Ted Bundy and the Green River Killer when they're going wild over there in Washington in the 80s and 90s?
You know, I don't really remember Ted Bundy and the Green River Killer. I remember knowing when I was a little girl that we had a lot of serial killers. I remember that there were single men that would pick you up on the side of the road and they could kill you, and so that's.
And you were warned about it.
And we were warned about it, and
because they were in Washington.
Right.
There's quite a few.
Right, and I think I was in Vegas, so I think I was like 30-something. I was sitting in my room watching one of those shows, one of the crime shows, and they started talking about the killer that put the Spokane killer, prostitute killer, who'd put the bags over the girls' heads or whatever, and started talking about how he had worked at Kaiser Aluminum, and I just thought,
that's the one.
He worked with my dad.
He worked with your dad?
Yeah, my dad worked at Kaiser.
Ridgway? I think his name was Ridgway?
Was that Ridgway? No, that Ridgway was
the Green River Killer.
The Green River.
Okay, so you worked with your dad.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was. I can't remember his name, but But I talked to my dad about it. I guess he worked in a different plant, but he was a family man. The killer had a family and everything. So
wow.
Yeah, it was kind of scary. I think it was just the norm, though. It was kind of what we were used to.
In the 80s and 90s? 80s? Okay. Now, was there any abuse in the home by your parents or any other adults? Physical, sexual, emotional?
My mom dated an abusive guy, I remember.
Yeah.
When I was 4 to 5. And then after that, she met my dad's brother, or my brother's dad.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really abusive. He was kind of quiet, kind of. I know he had PTSD from the war, so he's kind of. He worked at a gas station. I remember he smelled like gas, and I just was kind of like, he's kind of greasy, and I don't know. I liked him, but he was nice, but I just wasn't very close to him.
Okay.
So he wasn't really abusive. Just kind of wasn't. I don't know. My mom and him were gonna get married, and then they ended up not getting married. And
do you remember if you were sexually abused by anybody? Any other boyfriends?
There was a lot of sexual abuse, especially this last couple of years. There's been a lot of sexual abuse.
Yeah.
A lot of disgusting sexual.
No, I'm
abuse.
talking about when you were a kid.
There was a couple instances with neighborhood kid and stuff, but yeah, that's about it.
Did you graduate high school?
Yes.
You did graduate high school?
Yeah.
And what kind of student were you?
What kind of student? I was a pretty good student. I got A's and B's.
Did you go to college?
I had problems though. I've been bipolar, so I had depression.
That's
I had anxiety.
Okay.
And I had depression, anxiety, and I had started dating a guy. Well, I had an eating disorder, like 7th, 8th grade, or 8th grade. And then after that, 8th grade, I had an eating disorder. And then my freshman year, eating disorder. And then it went from that to I started dating an abusive guy when I was 16.
Okay.
So my first boyfriend was pretty abusive. So that kind of.
When did you first start doing drugs?
I first started using drugs in high school. I tried pot when I was 16.
Okay.
So I tried alcohol in 8th grade. Got drunk, and then 9th grade quit drinking. And then started smoking weed when I was 16, and smoked that for about 2 years. Tried a little bit of crank one night when I was 18. I was with my son's father, and just little stuff. I never really got addicted to anything until I was in my 30s.
Okay, and now you have kids?
I have one kid. He's 26. Yeah.
Oh, really? You talk to him?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a boy.
All right, now you want to tell me the story of how you became homeless, from cocktail waitress to homeless.
Yeah. Well, I have a girl who was my best friend in 8th grade. I met her in 8th grade. I ended up showing her around the school, and she ended up coming and spend the night with me. And she was always real jealous of me. I could never figure it out, but so I guess over the past 10 years, she's been planning my demise. That's how jealous she's been, and I kind of quit talking to her about 7 years ago, and found out recently that she's been parasiting me.
Have you ever been to jail?
No.
Never. Okay. Now you told me that you never worked as a prostitute, officially as a prostitute, but
no, I've been paid for sex before, but I've never like.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had relationships with guys. I've had sugar daddies and things like that. Especially when I was dancing, I had a couple guys that I'd go out with and stuff.
Yeah.
But and then I've been paid, for sex when I throughout the years, I guess a couple times. But I've never really worked the streets as a hooker.
Okay.
I've never really done that.
Okay.
Not to say that that would never happen, because it could.
What did you dream of becoming when you were a little girl?
A dancer.
Oh, you wanted to be a dancer?
Yeah.
Like an exotic dancer, or are you talking about a showgirl?
I don't know. From the time I was really little, to me, I was a dancer, and I loved dancing, and just dancing. They did a lot of jazz when I was little.
What kind of music did you like?
Flash dance, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson.
Oh, so you're a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do dance?
Yeah, I wanted to be a dancer.
What other hobbies did you have as a little girl?
As a little girl, I liked playing. I liked playing with my dolls and my Barbies, and I liked playing outside, playing with the neighborhood, and we played kickball, and I loved tetherball. I was really addicted to tetherball at one time. Yeah, I was really good at that. And let's see, what else did we do? Hide and go seek. We played school. We played Little People.
What kind of music did you like when you were little?
Dancing music, for sure.
All right, now can you tell me when it started getting really bad, the drug use. And
I got pretty strung out for about 9 months on cocaine when I was in my early 30s.
Okay.
And then I got clean and I went to Narcotics Anonymous, and I did Narcotics Anonymous for a long time.
Yeah.
And then after that, I ended up relapsing during COVID, and then so on and off for about 4 years. It got pretty bad from then till now. I've been getting parasited, and people are trying to murder me. And
now, I want to get into that because we're talking earlier, and we've been doing this interview now for 4 hours. Okay.
we just started this interview a couple
like 3
minutes
hours
ago.
going. Now the reason was that you kept telling me that once the high is going away, you hear bells ringing, right?
Well, it depends on what chips I have.
Okay.
Right now, I have chips on that are kind of forcing me to use, which is pissing me off.
Yeah.
Unless I don't want to hear bells.
When you use, the bells go away.
Huh?
Is that the withdrawals you're having, basically, right?
I don't know what the bells are for.
Okay.
I know that they can take your pituitary and mess with your brain, because they mess with your brain chemistry, and it puts you right into a bad mood right away. That's for sure.
When did you start hearing these bells? How long ago?
Well, it just depends on what chips you have. They can change the chips throughout the day.
Okay.
You know, they can give you someone else's chips or whatever. It's a one of those circle of people that no one ever wants to deal with
Okay,
or
tell me
get caught
about
up
these chips.
in.
What are these chips?
The chips, microchips that are for parasites. Microchips they're supposed to be helping you, but they're for parasites. And when you get kidnapped into sex trafficking, they give you different chips, and they kind of try to control you and things like that from the chips. Especially when you're not doing what they want you to do.
Annika, can you describe your typical day?
My typical
Like
day?
a typical day from waking up to going to sleep.
I wake up, try to get high as soon as possible so I don't have to think about what the hell is going on and what they're doing to me. And then try to get it. Right now, it's been trying to get away from these people that are parasiting me and trying to murder
Okay, now
me.
can you describe your typical day though?
I'm trying to get something to eat, trying to ask people for money, because I don't. They said they were going to give me money, and then they didn't give me money.
Yeah.
I'm just being harassed. It's little things like this during the day.
Yeah.
Put a bug nest by her.
Yeah.
Fill her chips with bugs.
Yeah.
Right now, I have people fucking with me. So I have people following me everywhere I go, and they go invisible. They have this magic BS that they're doing, and they go invisible, and they follow me and parasite me all day.
Okay, Annika, what was the longest you've been sober with NA? You said.
I was sober like 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
What did you do during those 8 years when you were sober?
I did a lot of NA. I helped a lot of people.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why did you stop? What happened? How'd you fall off the wagon?
I kind of got tired of it, you know. I got tired of the lifestyle, and I started getting depression.
Yeah.
It's just the depression that got really bad, that's all.
And then you started using again?
Yeah, I started using again.
Did you have your own apartment? Did you have your own house, or?
Yeah, I did. I had my own place. I've had my own place pretty much my whole life since I got out on my own. Yeah.
Okay, so then COVID hit, and then you lost your place?
Yeah.
Why did you lose it? Because you started using drugs?
No, I lost my place because I had people parasiting me and trying to murder me and poisoning me. And I just couldn't keep up with I couldn't deal with it. The drugs help me to calm down.
What does the drugs do for you?
The parasites give me anxiety, and the parasites make me depressed. And so the drugs help counteract that, kind of like a medication.
Okay, Aniko, let me tell you something. There are no parasites, so what do you think these are? What are they?
They're parasites.
Okay.
They're bugs.
You think they could be withdrawals too?
No, I've seen them. They're actual bugs.
Okay.
I've seen them come out of my skin before. They're actual bugs.
Okay. When did you start seeing these bugs?
4 years ago when they started parasiting me.
Okay. Have you ever thought about getting help? Maybe going to rehab?
I have gotten some help, yep.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
They put another bug nest, so I don't know. I'm not going to
Okay, let's go to
bugs.
move locations then.
All right, no bug nests
No bug nest? Okay.
so far. I mean, all day long, this is what goes on, because these people don't want me to make any money. They don't want me to get my money.
Yeah.
And you know what? God told me I'm going to get my money. You know, I had a group of people that terrorized my life, and they said they'd give me $300 a day, and they're giving it to other people right now. I had another group of people, the government said, because of what they did to my body, that they'd give me $550 million.
Do you have any loved ones that care about you in the world?
Yeah, my mom, my
Okay,
brother.
where does she live?
My mom lives in Reno.
Okay, how about anyone else?
My brother lives in Reno.
Okay, anyone else?
My sister lives in Colorado. I have family in Seattle.
Do they know where you're at?
No, I've tried to talk to my mom about it, but recently I just started finding out a lot of stuff. Like it was in this past 3 weeks, I found out really everything that I didn't know. I mean, there's a lot more that I don't know, but.
Okay, is there any way I can reach out to some of your family and tell them about your situation? Maybe they can help you?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about that after the interview?
Yeah.
Do you want help?
Yeah.
What do you want to see yourself doing in, say, 2 years?
I'd like to just go back to my job. I'd like to get these people away from me.
What job was that?
I'm a cocktail waitress at Bellagio.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
How long ago?
It was, gosh, I think I quit about a year. Or I haven't been cocktail for about a year.
How did you lose your job?
I kept getting parasited and poisoned.
Okay, we're going to talk about the parasiting
and then I
later.
wouldn't be able to go to work.
Have you got any mental health? Do you know where to go for mental health?
Like they would knock me out, you know?
Do you know where to go for mental health in Nevada? Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Where?
I was going to Harmony, but there's other places that I go to as well.
Why don't you go there?
I've been trapped over in this little area.
Yeah, don't tell us where it's at, but I know where it is. I know. Did you say you also lived in the tunnels before?
Yeah.
Okay, describe the tunnels for us. What's it like in the tunnels?
The tunnels. Well, the tunnels actually aren't that bad. They're not that bad as long as you can find your way out of it, I guess.
Is it safe for women in there?
Probably not. Yeah.
Okay. How long do you live in the tunnels?
I really have never lived in the tunnels. I stay by the tunnels.
Yeah.
And kind of I pick up my stuff in the tunnels. I
your
guess.
drugs? Okay.
Yeah. Pick up my drugs near the tunnel area.
How much drugs do you do a day? How much does
I
it
really
cost
haven't
you?
done a lot. I've done like $5 worth of drugs.
That's only $5 worth?
Well, I haven't even done the $5 worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much do you spend a day on drugs?
Probably about $10 to $20.
Okay. What happens when you're running low on drugs, you have no money, and there's none around? How does the withdrawals feel?
Horrible.
Can you explain it to us so we can maybe prevent?
Just can't think straight. Start getting really emotional.
Yeah.
Start getting really pissed off. My mind starts going crazy. I start feeling like I'm gonna faint or fall over or die or.
You start maybe in your case, you hear the bells ringing, things like that too.
If they have chips on where they want you to use every hour and a half or whatever, then the bells will start ringing. And
So that's part of withdrawals.
Kind of it's time to use. Yeah, that's like team using or whatever.
What would you tell a young person wanting to use drugs? How would you talk them out of it?
A young person wanting to use drugs. Well, I understand mental illness. I understand wanting to kind of escape reality and things like that. I think if you're an addict, it's one thing, and if you're not an addict, it's another thing you can use, and maybe it doesn't become part of your life. If it becomes part of your everyday life and you need it, and you're trapped in a situation where you have to have it, then it becomes pretty serious. Then it becomes like, I need to get some help, and if I can't get some help, then what do I do? But once you get help, it's like I gave my life to NA, and NA almost seemed like it was a trade. So if you stop going to NA, you kind of can tend to relapse. I don't know.
Yeah. So you were in NA for 8 years. You're doing great.
Right.
You're going to meetings. Were you sponsoring people? You were sponsoring people?
I sponsored a few people, yeah.
Yeah, those people depend on you.
I have really good recovery when I'm clean.
Okay, those people depend on you.
Well, I mean, but we're all addicts, so we're not all going to be, we're not always going to be clean. We might be, hopefully we are, and hopefully I can get clean soon. And I think if I wouldn't have had the people that are trying to damage me and destroy my life, if I wouldn't have had those people after me like this, I would have been able to deal with my addiction differently.
What if I was to tell you that those people do not exist, and whatever is going on in your head is trying to prevent you from getting sober, because you have a great life ahead of you?
Well, that's
that?
what these type of situations. It's called gang stalking, and that's what these type of situations do. Okay. They try to make you look like you're crazy, and you don't really have people or things after you. Yeah. But the evidence is what builds. The evidence becomes apparent that there's something.
Do you have friends out here that protect you or help you out, keep you safe?
You know, a lot of my friends that have tried to protect me and keep me safe, they either, number one, don't want to deal with me using, like, it's like, you can't use one time, you can't use anything. or they're going through something themselves, or if they try to help me out, then they get attacked by these people too.
Okay. Where would you like to see yourself in 2 years? Be honest.
What was the question?
What would you like to see yourself in 2 years?
In 2 years,
What would you like to be?
Oh man,
Because you're still young.
I'd like to be.
You still look good.
I'd like to be in Hollywood doing a movie.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
That can happen, but
Yeah. Or or maybe doing a dancing show, or have working maybe owning a clothing business.
Okay. Well, what's the steps you want to take to get there?
Well, I need to get the money that I came into from my job.
Okay. Which job?
At Bellagio, I get severance pay and things like that. And I had another girl swipe my identity, and she's been collecting all of my stuff.
Okay, we can figure that out later. But what else is stopping you?
Just the control that's on me right now.
The drugs, right?
Not only the drugs.
Yeah.
No, it's not just the drugs. It's the chips. It's the people.
What is it gonna take for me to
people.
take you to a rehab or talk you into going to a rehab?
It would just depend.
You need help, Aniko.
It would depend on. It'd probably have to be out of town. It'd probably have to be a rehab that didn't involve this group of people. I mean,
Okay.
I'm being attacked by my own government.
Okay. You need help, Aniko. Okay.
Yeah.
How can we help you? You tell me.
I'm
You've been on the
not
streets for a while.
exactly sure, but I know being with somebody and being able to sleep in a house and not be on the streets,
Yeah.
and having somebody help me
Yeah.
is what I'm going to need. I'm going to
That's
need
what you
I'm going to need other people to help me get out of this, because these people have a pretty big hold on me.
I know where you hang out. I've observed the gentleman that was with you and some other people. You're not in a safe place. They're taking advantage of you. You're a very nice woman. You're pretty, and you need help.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about this? I mean, you need desperate help.
Yeah. Well, I need somebody to help me. I need somebody to.
What do you need me to do for you?
What do I need
Or
to
one of
do?
our subscribers that watches this that lives in Vegas, what can they do for you?
I just need a safe place to stay, and I need some protection.
Can you go to a shelter and
Possibly.
tell them that you have, you suffer from mental illnesses, right?
Yeah.
Documented?
Yeah.
What is it?
Bipolar.
Okay. You want to go to a shelter where you're safe? Because I know you're being taken advantage of at night here.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice.
Okay.
Shelter would be nice.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. And maybe some of our subscribers that live in Las Vegas, they can guide you. Do you have a phone, or you have access to the internet? Can you go to the library?
I think I forgot what the thing is called. There's a group of people that's actually helping people right now.
Do you have an email account?
No, I don't.
You don't have an email account? All right, a couple more questions. What's your most cherished memory in life? Think back when you were happiest.
I was happiest. I loved having my son.
Yeah?
When he was a baby, yeah. That was great.
You still talk to him?
Yeah. Yeah, we're very close to my son. He's my whole life. I spent my whole life with him. I raised him by myself, so. Yep.
Yeah.
It was clean most of my life.
You were clean most of your life.
Yeah.
When did you lose control?
I lost control in my 30s for about a year, and then about 3 years ago.
Yeah, you lost control again.
And then about 3 years ago, on and off.
In these 3 years since COVID, was there a time when you were sober?
Yeah.
When was that?
It's been on and off. I've had a month here, 4 months here.
And then
2
when you were
months
clean
here.
that long, where'd you go?
Went to sober living, or my mom's, or.
Okay, your mom. We're gonna call your mom later, okay?
Okay.
And your brother maybe.
Yeah.
See what we can do to help you.
All right.
Do you feel that you've lost yourself in addiction?
No, I don't feel like I have. I feel like some other things have.
I feel like what?
I don't feel like I have. I feel like some other things have. I feel like I'm trapped in a stalking situation, an identity theft stalking situation, and I feel like that's kind of prevented me from really being able to go after my recovery.
Okay, can you explain? I promise you I'll let you explain that, so go ahead. What is that? What does that entail?
It's when people are stalking you and they take your identity and they take your money and they trap you further and further into it, and they do things to you that are murderous, and people can't really see it from the outside. They do things to you that, if you talk about it, kind of makes you look like you're crazy, and it's not really happening. So it's scary. It's really terrifying.
Yeah.
And then my mental illness is really terrifying on top of it.
You need to get on medication. You need to get sober.
Well, the cops actually canceled my medication.
You need to get medication. You get sober. You need to go to a facility. maybe we could facilitate that. I'm gonna call your family, okay?
All right.
Do you have any questions for me?
That's pretty much it. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you though for today. Thank
How's
you.
it feel like talking to me?
Good. Feels good.
Do you feel better than you did before you met me?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you feel better?
I feel like there's some hope. Yeah, some hope, a chance to get better.
Well, we're gonna get you some food and maybe get you a room for the night, but you really need to get some help.
All right.
We're gonna try to contact your family, and the best of luck to you.
Thank you.
You have my contact information, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.